morning. My name is Henny van der Bovenkamp from LonMark International. Welcome. Today we are going to do a webinar about LonMark's open smart streetlight platform. We will start with a presentation followed by a panel discussion. All attendees are muted automatically. If you have a question, please use the question box at the right side of your screen. We will answer your questions at the end of this session. Please note that the webinar will be recorded and made available through our website, and the link will be forwarded to you in due course. Directly after the webinar, you will see a survey on your screen. We would appreciate it if you take the time to answer the 5 questions. It will only take a couple of minutes. And now I would like to introduce our moderator, Christophe Arceau. Christophe is the General Manager of Streetlight Vision, as well as the Chairman of our Outdoor Lighting Committee. Christophe, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Henny, for this introduction. Thanks a lot to everyone attending that webinar this morning or this afternoon for some of you who are in Asia. So the webinar is all about what we in the LonMark organization and all the LonMark members, member companies, are trying to do for our customers, for the market, building, designing an open smart streetlight platform. So first, let's define what streetlight control and monitoring is about. And actually on this slide on your screen, you can see really the 4 main objectives of what we are trying to accomplish for cities, municipalities, utilities, all the guys who are driving streetlights in the streets. It's all about saving energy, reducing maintenance cost, remote control in real time, getting an eye in the street, a remote eye obviously, and leveraging the streetlight grid to transform it as a smart city application network or a smart city application. Coming back on the first topic, saving energy by dimming the lights, by controlling the on and off time, reducing maintenance cost by automatically identifying failures, lamp failures, but also electrical failures, and reduce then associated maintenance cost. Real-time control to, again, reduce the number of on-site trips, checking online what is the status of any streetlights before actually triggering an online visit. And the smart city application backbone. The streetlights are high points with power 24/7 in some cases. Why don't we transform that into a very nice network that can support many more applications? Talking about solutions then and the architecture of a solution to accomplish these objectives, any solution on the market has mainly 3 components. The first component is in the streetlight itself. That's what we call the light controller. Some call that outdoor lighting controllers or light point controller. That's the same thing. It's a piece of electronic that really is inside the pole, inside the luminaire, on top of the luminaire, and its goal is to control the LED driver or the electronic ballast or even the conventional magnetic ballast, to measure the consumption, to measure the power, the voltage, the current, the energy, the number of lamp burning hours, but also identifying lamp failures and dimming the light level depending on schedules. The second component is usually in a cabinet or somewhere on the network. It's called the gateway, the segment controller. Some may call that the data concentrator. It's a piece of electronic, again, that control a part of a network and a group of light point controllers, sending them the on command, the off command, the dimming command, stepless dimming commands, and organizing that network, organizing the communication with all the light points, making also the interface with the third component, which is the central management software, residing somewhere on the network, web-hosted or as an enterprise server, and providing all the end-user interface to the end users, so real-time control, but also trend charts, analytics, failure report, energy reports, both on computers, PCs, Mac, whatever operating system you want, and tablets, iPads, smartphones for the guys who are in the street and operating the maintenance in the streets. So with all the members of the LonMark organization, that's what we are trying to do, right? Developing an architecture which is as open as possible to accomplish the objectives we were talking about earlier on, these 4 main objectives, of which energy saving. Talking a bit more about the segment controller. So again, in the LonMark organization, we have plenty of companies who are using the same segment controller, all compatible together. And that segment controller is displayed on your screen. It controls a segment, so a cabinet. Typically in Europe and in Asia, most of the streetlight networks are organized with a streetlight cabinet and between 50 to whatever 200 light points behind that cabinet. That segment controller controls both the cabinet as well as the light point controllers on the power line network. It provides digital inputs. It provides digital outputs to control the relay. It provides also some internal software to locally control the cabinet. But even more, it provides all the power line communication with a standardized protocol to control any light point controllers that can communicate with that standardized protocol called LonWorks, and that is managed by the LonMark organization. On the power line communication, it also provides dynamic automatic repeating to make sure that even if the cabinet cannot communicate directly with a light point, which is pretty far away from the cabinet, the communication will be repeated by any light point controller on the network to avoid end customers or installers being obliged to install relays, repeaters, filters, or whatever you want. Now, one of the main reasons for LonMark, and one of the most important things, I think, for end customers, for cities, for municipalities, for roadway authorities and others, is to make sure that you have light point controllers, so hardware in the streetlights, which are not talking with a proprietary protocol, but rather plenty of different hardware available that are communicating with each other or compatible with each other, all using the same language. And that's what we are doing in the LonMark organization, making sure that all the vendors that you see, all the logos that you see on the right side of your screen, provide hardware that are compatible with each other, so that you as a municipality, as a utility, as an authority in general, are not locked in with one only vendor, but you have a choice between different vendors on different projects, again, because streetlight networks are not unique, but you have many different configuration and systems, so you have different products that fits with that. Many light point controllers are available which are all talking the same LonWorks protocol. That protocol is a power line protocol. It's also available in wireless, by the way, very soon. It follows a standardized, a standard, as we say, called ISO 14908. ISO is this international standard organization. And again, all these different hardware are talking with the same protocol to provide the features which are listed on your screen, mainly on, off, and dimming commands. All these devices are providing stepless dimming commands, while some proprietary systems are still working with discrete dimming commands. So let's say enable you to dim the light at only 50 and 70%, for example, while here we are talking stepless dimming, any percentage between 0 to 100. It provides also lamp feedback monitoring, really the status of the lamp, including lamp failure, high-low voltage, high-low power, high temperature, low power factor, and so on. Most of these devices provide also voltage in volts, current in amps or milliamps, power factor, energy, cumulated energy in kilowatt hours, number of burning hours, power in watts, etc. And some of these devices are even providing more. And one of the reasons for LonMark to exist is to make sure that all these devices are interoperable which means that on a single streetlight grid, you can mix and match any devices manufactured and designed from any of these vendors. Here you see some of these products. Not all of them are listed here, but it's just, and I won't go into the description of each of these products, obviously, not to give a favor to any of these manufacturers, but that is just to show you that we have plenty of product available on the market which are all compatible with the same protocol, the LonMark Powerline protocol, and all of these again can be mixed and matched on your streetlight network so that you are not bound and locked in with one particular vendor. So some of the vendors here are ADIC, AMCO, APANET from Poland, Citylon from France. We have also Echelon from the US, E-Controls from Spain, FlashNet from Romania, Rongwen, who is a manufacturer and an outdoor control system provider from China. Osram is there, and there are others as you saw in the previous slide. Again, the goal is to offer a wide variety of products to fit with any situation. Situations where you want to install the light point controller in the pole, at the base of the pole, or inside the luminaire, or as an external device on top of your pole. All the situations are covered, and all type of lamps are covered: LED, induction lights, conventional HPS with electronic dimmable ballast, or conventional HPS with magnetic ballast. The third component in the solution is the central management software. So same here on the market, we have various software available. You see some of the screens here. The good news again is that what we are trying to do is to open the system so that you are not bound with one and only one software, but you have a choice between different software, and then you can run tenders to choose the one that best suits your need. So plenty of features in this software, including real-time control, trend chart, calendaring, dimming schedule, reports, and plenty of other applications which are used every day by users, maintenance companies, and the cities to control the lights, to reduce the cost of the maintenance of their network, to reduce the energy consumption on their streetlight network. This solution, the LonMark solution, again based on plenty of different manufacturers, has been adopted by a wide variety of a lot of cities and municipalities in Europe, Middle East, Asia Pacific, a little bit also in South America. So you see here some of the cities who have adopted it. In total, we estimate that about 500,000 light points have been deployed in 17 countries, mainly in the last years, showing really a big growth of the outdoor lighting market, outdoor lighting control market in general, and particularly on the adoption of open systems such as the one that we all developed together. So let me now go through some use case or real customer case, actually. So some projects that have been done here and there. We will start by this customer in the south of Paris. You have, there's a company called SPIE, S-P-I-E. You see the logo and the name on the small truck downstairs on the slide, who is controlling about 15,000 streetlights in 3 different cities in the south of Paris. They selected, they sold that project as a PPP project, a private-public partnership, which is a way for cities to keep their investment flat or to keep their expense flat for like 20 years, and for an external company to invest on behalf of the city and get paid out of the energy saving, which is the result of installing more efficient lights, but even more to deploy streetlight control systems. In this case, what the solution they choose is obviously a LonMark approved solution based on the Island Smart Server, the segment controller I was talking about earlier, with the Streetlight Vision central management software, and the CityLon SL31 light point controller installed in each light point. They started the project in 2008. They are operating that project since more than 5 years now. The deployment was over a year and a half, 18 months, and the result is that they could save 52% on the energy invoice, not on the light levels or on the power, the kilowatt hours, but even more important, really on the invoice. Comparing invoices before and after, the 52% was the result of that operation. 900 tons of CO2 were saved, or are currently saved every year compared to the previous installation. And today, these guys from SPI are really using the system every day to identify the lamp failures, to identify any electrical problem on the streets, and to operate and to maintain that, to really go on site before any citizen can even figure out that the light was down. So on one hand, the customer is very happy because I mean, both the customer and the installer are very happy because it's a profitable project. On the other hand, the city is so happy to have a lighting service which is much better than before. The second customer case is the city of Dongguan in China. In this case, we are currently more than 120,000 light points deployed in that city. It's actually growing every month. They are installing new light points all the time. That solution was delivered by Rongwen. We will hear from Eva Wang, the international sales manager from Rongwen, later on during the panel discussion. Rongwen is a manufacturer of outdoor lighting control system. They provide LED luminaires as well as LonMark compliant light point controllers. The segment controller was a segment controller provided by Echelon Streetlight Vision, together with a Streetlight Vision central management software that is installed in the control room. Starting date was September 2010, and they are now installing more and more lights every day as a result, again, of the profitability of their project. Rongwen is mostly deploying projects with an ESCO model, a little bit like SPI before. They invest on behalf of the customer and get paid out of the energy saving. Average energy saving is 42%, but more important is the return on investment on the projects that they have in China, due to a pretty high cost of energy and the average wattage, which is, again, pretty high in China, or used to be pretty high in China. They are retrofitting that with LEDs and with control system to have a return on investment below 3 years, which makes it a great project, again, for the cities as well as for Rongwen as a solution provider. Tarnobrzeg in Poland is the third customer case. That one was deployed by Apanet. Apanet is an outdoor control system provider that provides light point controllers compatible with LonWorks and so approved by LonMark in Poland. That project is a first part of a highway project on which they could save up to 45% energy on that project. So it's about 200 light points for the moment, but the highway authority are extending that now. The goal again here is to save energy. That was the main goal. The project was starting and was deployed actually last year. Apanet is now working on major extension for the highway, thanks to the success of that project. Let's come back on what LonMark is. I described the solution. I gave you some customer case and explained that this solution is widely deployed in the world. But let's come back really on the uniqueness of a LonMark platform for smart streetlight solutions. The first thing, if you remember, is that it's the only platform today in the world where you have so many light point controllers available from different manufacturers. And that makes it a de facto open system. More than 30 products are available on this power line platform. New products are available pretty often. This solution, thanks to all the engineering from many different companies working on that platform, obviously that makes it more robust. Plenty of people working on that. Again, a lot of engineering hours. As a consequence, the solution is pretty easy, fast to install, robust, and price competitive. That's the result, again, of having multiple companies working together. Even if these companies are all competing against each other somehow on the light point controllers, but at least they all agreed to use a single standardized protocol so that the solution could be not only robust, proven, and widely deployed, but also future-proof. Because none of these guys, none of us, none of the members of the LonMark organization owns the protocol, but everybody is contributing to the solution. The value proposition for various players of the market, obviously for the municipalities and contractors, the goal is to have an open system, again, with interoperable light point controllers, all working together and compatible with each other. So for municipalities and contractors, the guys who are tendering, the goal here is, if you want an open system, is obviously to ask for an ISO 14908 compatible system. For manufacturers of streetlight products, the value proposition is obviously to join that community of manufacturers who all agreed to use the same protocol, and as a consequence then to have an open market for you to propose your product to all the cities who have already agreed and approved LonMark as their communication platform. So cities like Paris, Lyon, Barcelona, and some others, Oslo and so on, Dongguan in China. See, these guys have LonWorks compatible products. If you design products which are also LonWorks compatible, you could have a chance to propose them your product. And the value proposition for other for manufacturers of other smart city products is the same thing. Is actually to leverage the streetlight network and sell their product, so sensors, for example, on that network. If you are a manufacturer of sensors, you could integrate LonWorks Powerline as a protocol on your devices so that you could join the community and access that market of more than 500 customers in 17 countries. To go further into the analysis of a LonMark smart streetlight solution, we have a website. If you go to lonmark.org, you will find some of these documents, or the two documents that I'm showing on the screen now. Sorry, the sample specification, for example. So that's a document that helps cities and contractors to write their own tender, making sure that at least in your tender you have really open statements, open specifications. So you can download that one and get inspired to write your own tender. And the second document is the technical white paper to explain what open streetlight solutions are and the benefits to any proprietary solution, and clarify also the outdoor lighting control market. Let me now start and ask a question to the panelists. So that was the first part of the webinar today, sharing more information on what the system is about and the key features. I would like to now introduce four panelists to whom I will ask some questions. The first one will be Catherine Rambaud, who is a marketing manager from Citylon. Citylon is a designer and a manufacturer of light point controllers and streetlight control solutions in general. Catherine, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Great. Hi, Catherine. I would like to start with you. Hello, Catherine. I would like to start with you and ask you a few questions. The first one, to complement this presentation I did quickly. The first question is, how do you see that market, the streetlight control market, evolving with regards to streetlight control and monitoring and the need for open systems in this field?
For sure, there is no doubt it's a growing market, because there is no day during which we don't hear about smart city, energy saving, and so on. And the cities start to be aware about the possibilities, about the different solutions, and more they know about the difference between proprietary solution and open system like LonMark. And as the cities think about the future, generally they prefer to get an open system with a lot of compatible manufacturer rather than a locked system with no choice, when they are aware about that.
All right. And then how do you see the role of open standards such as LonMark contributing to the growth of a streetlight control market, as you said?
Public lighting is a bit different from the electronical market. We know, as you said previously, in public lighting, investments are made for 20, 30 years. It's different from markets such as phone or computers, where lifetime goes from 1 to 5 years maximum. And as lifetime of product is longer, it's important to get something open. Cities have less doubt to invest in public lighting management if they know they have plenty of compatible products. If they are not happy with their first choice, they can change manufacturer, keeping the same technology. That's why open protocol like LonMark are mandatory in our business area, because it helps to define standards, and this will help cities to be confident and invest massively, not being dependent on a single source supplier.
All right, but then why are there so many proprietary systems in this field, knowing that streetlight lifetime, as you said, is about 20 years, so it doesn't look logical, right?
Yes, you are right. It's strange to see that after so many experiences with internet, with phone, with television, with the company had to agree on standardized system. Little by little, we come to the same situation in street lighting management. Main problem is that customers are generally cities and they have no technical skills. So when any company come and say they have fantastic system, but they forget to tell it's proprietary, city believe them. And that's why LonMark is taking the lead to solve that.
All right, clear. And as a manufacturer of streetlight controllers or light point controllers, what are the benefits that you, as a company, CityLon, get out of being part of a LonMark organization then?
A lot of things. Since CityLon is being part of LonMark International and get certified product, we had access to a bigger market, to a better visibility on the market thanks to LonMark action, and also help to expand the choice and the need of an open system. We also have more engineering shared across our companies, resulting in more features for all of us and more maturity for CityLon than if we have worked alone.
That's great. Very clear. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Catherine. I will now move to our second panelist, Raluca Dobrota, who is the sales manager from Flashnet. Flashnet is also a manufacturer of light point controllers, LonMark compatible light point controllers, and streetlight solutions, streetlight control solutions, sorry, in general. Raluca, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi, Christophe.
Hi, Raluca. So, question for you, Raluca. What does a standard LonMark compliant light point controller measures? What kind of information does it provide to the central management software?
Well, the metering values for the streetlight controllers are current, voltage, power factor, temperature counters, including energy kilowatt counter and lamp burning hour counter. We get also information about failures, including lamp failure, driver failure. We can also measure high-low current, high-low voltage, low power factor. All these details are sent to a central management software where actions can be taken according to the beneficiary needs. As all the companies that are members of LonMark have a lot of market expertise and customer experience, all the information that we talked about are the result of this field expertise and customer interaction.
Okay, great. And do you see the market growing for smart street lighting systems?
Yes, definitely. We are involved in this market since 2005, and we've never seen so many tenders coming out for streetlight control. Furthermore, small as well as big cities are interested and start to understand that the streetlight control is probably the most beneficial smart city application. Large companies such as IBM, Oracle, and few others have marketed the idea of smart cities strongly without being able to sell significant projects. We're benefiting from their large investment in marketing, and we are delivering the first and the most compelling smart city application, the one that adapts to the existing infrastructure, saves energy, and increases services to the citizens.
That's clear. What kind of, you were talking about smart cities, what kind of other sensors, devices, actuators, whatever, do you see interoperating on a streetlight pole in coordination with a streetlight control system?
Well, the first step is probably to enrich the streetlight networks with sensors that interact with the light level, that adapts the light level to the environment. Those traffic counting, presence detectors, noise sensors, and luminary sensors are obviously the next wave of sensors for cities to deploy in the street. But to make things more detailed, I would divide the sensors into two categories. First one are the sensors that have a direct impact in the behavior of the streetlights. These sensors like movement sensors, light sensors, and so on. This type can be retrofit on poles or on the power supply cabinet. The second category are the sensors that are powered up from the lightning grid, but are addition to the system itself. Such sensors are for noise, temperature, pressure, generally speaking environmental sensors, traffic counters, accident, gunshot detection. All of the above mentioned sensors have in common the fact that they are working together as an integrated solution and give information that can be displayed on the central management software. Also, we must take into consideration that these sensors could be externally mounted or integrated directly into the hardware products. As a LonMark member, we have already implemented several sensors and applications in our previous projects. Many other integrations are being made available with every project depending on the customer needs. Smart city smart streetlight systems need to provide advanced features such as peer-to-peer and real-time interaction between the light point controllers and sensors. And the LonMark platform offers such a feature which is not present in most proprietary systems.
Good point. Great point. Thanks a lot, Raluca. I will now move to Vijay. I'm sorry, we didn't have a picture of Vijay, and you missed an important thing. Hi, Vijay. Can you hear me? Vijay Dingra is the director of product management lighting solutions at Echelon. Vijay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. So Vijay, let me continue with the questions, and one of the questions that some of our customers are asking sometime is in relation with LEDs. So don't LEDs provide already enough energy savings?
Yes, this is a good question, and I hear that all the time from our customers. Hey, we did the LEDs and replaced it, and we got 50% energy savings. Why do I need to add more cost of controls? With adding controls, obviously you get more energy savings. You could, as much as 20–30% more energy savings wherever is possible, where dimming is allowed, can be achieved. When you have a PPP or ESCO kind of model, you have to go beyond just the energy savings. You need to have to be able to have a control of your of assets, and with that, the controls becomes much more of a need beyond just the energy savings. In some cities where it's not possible because of the budgets and all that, when they have their own budgets, then they should at least say have the controls ready system, and in the future when the budgets allow, they can add the controls. So it becomes really very important for ESCOs and PPP projects that the controls are must, and you can get energy savings, you can get maintenance savings. Without controls, it's very hard to get the maintenance savings.
Exactly. And we see, by the way, more and more large projects, large tenders with LEDs and control, not LEDs alone, by the way. What is the role, coming back on the smart city kind of thing, we are talking a lot about smart streetlight control. What is the role played by smart streetlight solution into the smart city market?
Yes, so the areas where other services can be added on by the cities, so they don't have to have an extra new network needed. If you have a streetlights network and you can add like other sensors, motion sensors, or the light sensors, or pollution sensors can be added onto the network, and as just devices spread around in the city and bring the data to the central management system, and then the city's sustaining managers can make a decision with all the data, not only on the lights, what the needs are. They can look at, this area has high pollution. Maybe traffic can be, diverted to a different way and all that. So it's a very powerful information can be gathered without really adding a lot of extra costs once you have a street lighting network available to you.
Very good. Thanks a lot, Vijay, for that answers.
You're welcome.
Let me now move to, thanks a lot, Vijay. Let me now move to Ernst Eder. Ernst is the certification director in the LonMark International Association. Ernst, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Wonderful. Ernst, what is, I talked about it briefly during the presentation, but could you help us understand what is a LonMark streetlight profile and what is the benefit of having such a streetlight profile?
Thanks, Christopher, for this question. Yeah, you and our panelists mentioned it earlier before that each device can measure different physical values like power consumption, run hours, current, and so on. Also status information, error messages, and so on. The profile now describes the type and the format of and the direction of these values. This is very important for control and monitoring system who are collecting this data. So the profile ensures that different products from different suppliers can work on the same network. This results, of course, in a benefit for the end customer, and he has then the freedom to choose the best product for him.
Okay, very clear. And what's next then for LonMark as an organization to help grow the adoption of streetlight control system? Is it education, new standards, more outreach?
I would say all three. As we are doing now here, this webinar, of course, education is a big movement here at LonMark. Then the next one is new standards. As we know, most LonMark members today are using power line systems, but now on some markets where electrical grid is not dedicated, like US, UK, Australia, for instance, smart streetlight requires wireless control solutions. The good news here, LonMark is now also available on wireless with IPv6 networks. So this is the next big step for LonMark, offering an even broader scope of features and keep being ahead of any proprietary technology.
Okay. Now with all these manufacturers and suppliers of products which are supposed to be interoperable, how does LonMark test for interoperability?
So the best question for the certification director. Yeah, LonMark offers a complete test for device interoperability. We have an online certification tool where developers can test and certify their device, I would say in less than an hour. The requirement is, of course, that you follow the LonMark interoperability guidelines and that you use this LonMark functional profile for street lighting, the OLC, in your development process. As said before, the test is online. You upload your interface file to a portal. After you have done the verification there, you get an email message that everything is okay. And after that, you do a short communication test, a physical communication with your device. If you pass all these 3 tests, all these 2 test steps, your device is certified and ready for the market.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ernst, for answering these questions. Thanks also to all the panelists, to Vijay from Echelon, Raluca from FlashNet, and Catherine from CityLon for these questions. It's about 10 to 6 here in Europe, Central European Time. We will leave the last few minutes open for questions from you, from the attendees. And actually, I have 2 questions at the moment. The first one from Eitan, who is asking a question about DALI. So the question is, can the protocol, I guess the LonWorks Powerline protocol, combine DALI and nodes? The answer is pretty simple. It's yes, obviously. So I would answer on behalf of Vijay from Echelon, Raluca from FlashNet, Catherine, and from CityLon, as well as from other light point controller suppliers. Most of the light point controllers do actually have a DALI output or a DALI bus interface with LED drivers or electronic ballast to get data or information from the driver, but also, and even more important, to switch and to dim the lamps using DALI interface. So I guess out of all the light point controllers that I've seen on the market compatible with LonMark, the vast majority of them do have either a DALI interface to drive the lamp or 110 volts, some say 010 volt, but analog interface to dim the LED driver or the electronic ballast. Right? So I hope, Eitan, that answers your question. So in short, yes. The second question is about a consortium that have been created called TALQ, or TALQ, T-A-L-Q, and the question is, doesn't the TALQ standard do the same thing as LonMark? Very interesting question. Actually, I have a chance to be the chairman of a steering committee of TALQ, so I guess I can answer. If you remember the slide about the architecture, a streetlight control system is composed of, again, 3 components: the light point controllers in the streetlight, gateway or segment controller in the cabinet, and the central management software. Here with LonMark, we are talking about field protocol, the protocol between light point controllers and gateways, let's say in general, segment controller. With TALQ, or TALQ, we are talking about the protocols between the central management software and different type of gateways. Right? So it's a completely different layer and different place. It's absolutely not the same components we are addressing in TALQ and in LonMark. So LonMark is standardizing protocols between light point controllers and gateway. In this sense, somehow LonMark is really more important, I would say, since it allows to mix multiple products with various suppliers in the same streets. Right? While TALQ will allow you to have a central management software and some LonMark compatible systems, but also proprietary systems in other parts of your city. But in that part of the city covered by a proprietary system, you will not mix and match with any other suppliers. So I hope that also answers that question. Another question from Rose. Can a LonMark streetlight control system be used with any existing light poles, I guess any existing type of lamps, for example? Raluca, maybe you want to answer that one? So in other words, is a FlashNet light point controller, can it control LEDs as well as HPS, high pressure sodium lamps? Raluca, are you there?
Yes, we can, yes, I'm here. Yes, we can control with our equipments lamps with electronic as well as lamps with electromagnetic ballast. So
yeah.
We have two types of controllers for the electromagnetic ballast, so for power up to 150 watts and power up to 400 watts, and also we can control LED with DALI and 0-10 volts interface.
Okay. Thank you, Raluca. And again, with a system where you have Raluca from FlashNet was answering for her product, and with, as part of LonMark, we have plenty of other FlashNets which have other products to address even other configurations. So the beauty of having plenty of suppliers with plenty of different type of products is obviously then we address, I would say, all the different type of lamps. For example, we have one of the members, a company called AMCO, A-M-K-O, who is a company that designs induction lamps and induction luminaires, very long lifetime, very nice ability to dim the lamps at any stepless level and so on. And same, it's an induction light, so completely different again from LEDs and completely different from high pressure sodium. But again, they have systems which are LonMark approved and compatible with the solution. So Rose, yes, it can be used with all existing light points, and the fact that we have plenty of suppliers kind of guarantees that, unlike with proprietary systems where you depend on the supplier to provide you with product for each different type of lamp, with us at least you have a bit more choice, I would say. So this was the few questions that we had during this call. I would like to thank you all for attending the call, for raising really interesting questions. I would like also to thank all the panelists, Ernst, Eder, Vijay Dingra from Echelon, Raluca, Dobrota from FlashNet, and Catherine Rambaud from CityLon to have participated to that call, answered some really interesting questions. I hope it was beneficial for all of you guys, and you've learned a lot during that call. Once we hang up and we close that webinar, you will be asked a few questions. I would welcome you to answer that survey to help us improve, but also to help us understand your needs even more and try to address them the best way. Thank you all, and have a good day or a good night, depending on where you are in the world.